why are so many people hating on GTA 6 after watching the extended look? Because, man, I thought it was really good. I thought they showed a balance of everything. I think the graphics were amazing. I think the gameplay looked pretty solid. The driving mechanics actually were pretty nice as well. I don't really, not really too sure what's going on. I think the bar was probably set way too high and people's expectations way too high. I mean, the game does look phenomenal. I'm getting people saying, I'm not playing this, I'm refunding this, that. It's, wow, you're gonna base a game that took like 13, 14 years to make in 26 minutes. You're gonna base your decision on it if you're gonna play it in 26 minutes. I mean, I guarantee you, if I bought you that copy, you will not put that down. You'll call in sick to work. 100% you'll call in sick to work. But then again, people, who are saying that it looks like this, looks like that, maybe they just got a low IQ or something. I don't know. And no, I'm not a fanboy. Before you jump in the comments, oh my God, you're a fanboy. Look, I'm not a fanboy. I just try to speak the truth most of the time. And most importantly, I think for myself. I don't jump on the bandwagon and let other people decide my thoughts for me. I do appreciate that there probably are some concerns about the game, but look, we've seen 26 minutes and look how much they actually packed in that 26 minutes. You cannot say to me the game didn't look gorgeous. It looked nice. It did look nice. Okay, sometimes we saw a few FPS drops there. I don't know if you guys saw them, but I'm pretty sure I saw them. And that sort of raises the question of, look, that whole FPS thing. Are we at 30 FPS with great graphics, or do we have a performance mode with that extra 60 FPS instead of it being like a high quality mode or something? I get what people are saying, and I have got a list actually. You know what, I'm going to just get straight into the list because I'm trying to not keep this like a full-on edited video. Right, okay. Number one, I've heard that people say that this is looking like GTA 5, and it's pretty simple to sort of fix. Go back to the original GTA, not the enhanced version, right? Go back to it and pull up the gameplay side by side. It's going to be a no-go. I mean, come on, the lighting, the animations, the density of just the actual city, the interiors, the physics, the environmental detail, all of that will be topped in GTA 6, guaranteed you. Again, I think it's just saying people to complain about and stuff. Number two, I think I sort of said this in the intro, but people expected a generational sort of graphical leap. Because GTA 6 has been hyped for so long, some people expected something almost photorealistic. The reality is that Rockstar has to build a massive open world that actually runs on a console. And again, you can't have a huge open world and have photorealism at the same time. I mean, you know how much graphical power you need, or CPU power you actually need to make that happen. Now, I've heard from more than one person that maybe Rockstar showcased this on a PC build. I don't think so. I think it's going to be still PlayStation 5. I think people underestimate how powerful the PlayStation 5 is, but I get why they're saying that. I do, because it was that incredible. It looked that detailed. The shadows were that good. The reflections were that slick. I think that it confused people. I mean, for a second, it did cross my mind as well. Is this on PC? This can't be on PlayStation. I mean, I got a PS5 Pro. I recently bought a PS5 Pro for GTA 6. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited now, because if that's what we're in for, then, that's going to be amazing. Now, we have seen in past game publishers and developers sort of downgrade the graphics. It's not anything new. They have downgraded the graphics on release. But a good sort of gauge with Rockstar is having a look at their previous releases. I mean, look at Red Dead 2, right? That looked gorgeous. And I don't think that the GTA 6 is going to look any worse than that. And if it does, then there's going to be a serious problem, because people are expecting GTA 6 to top Red Dead 2. Of course, because GTA 6 is it's so much bigger than Red Dead, even though Red Dead is an amazing game and has great gameplay and the graphics are amazing. It has to push that boundary. GTA 6 has to push that boundary. We need to go over the finish line there. So we're going to have to wait and see on the release for that. Now, let's move on to one of the next criticisms that a lot of people have got. They've said that the gameplay looks slow. Now, look, some people may have expected constant shootouts, car chases, explosions. Instead, Rockstar showed a lot of the everyday activities, the conversations, the exploration, the slower moments as well they showed. But it wasn't all slow. They showed multiple things. They showed multiple robberies as well, going into different convenience stores, robbing the convenience stores. We even see one of the store owners come out with a shotgun and chase them. Look, all of that stuff adds realism. And getting back to that gameplay looking slow, I didn't really feel that. I felt that maybe the driving mechanics felt a little bit slower. Well, I say a little bit, a fair amount slower than GTA 5. I don't know, that's just my personal preference. It was more leaning towards that GTA 4 element, but just upgraded. Now, I wasn't a fan too much of GTA 4's driving mechanics. A lot of people were, and that's absolutely fine. But me personally, I just found that all the cars had soft suspensions, and yeah, it was just a tilting nightmare. But it doesn't look like that. It just, I think it's borrowed elements from them. Now, look, we also know general gameplay, the movement of our characters might be a little bit slow, but that was expected because even GTA 5 had that heavy sort of feeling of a character. The best way to sort of gauge this would be, again, to go back to Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2, a lot of people said that was a slow game, but it didn't matter. It was so good. I don't think people really cared after a little while. They just wanted to play the game because it was that good. So I don't personally think it's slow, but at the same time, you know, we're getting these same people who are playing Call of Duty and brain rot games that are just so fast. Everything is quick. I think, you know, just in general as well, what we do on a day-to-day basis with like YouTube shorts, we're scrolling, with TikTok, we're scrolling. So obviously our brains are now adapted to much faster dopamine hits. So maybe that's why people are saying that, look, the gameplay looks slow. A game, again, that vast and that big can't be a super fast game. You know, there's rumors that the game is going to be like 80, 90 hours long. Now, I don't know if that's true. It could be nowhere near that. But if that is true, you know, we can't have fast gameplay, man. Things need to be detailed. Things need to take their time. So we need to digest a lot of the stuff that Rockstar want to show us. Now, moving on to our next point. This one's a big criticism, actually. I've heard, again, a lot of people talking shit about Jason and Lucia. You know, this is a really interesting thing. Yes, it is obviously the first time GTA, or should I say Rockstar, sorry, have used a female lead, you know, as well as obviously a male lead, but with Lucia. Now, I don't see an issue with it. Don't really care. You know, it's part of the game. But I think people's concerns lay that maybe it's too lovey-dovey. Maybe it's too romantic. You know, maybe they just don't like the protagonists just yet, especially, you know, compared to Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. You know, Trevor was a nutcase, Franklin's Franklin, and Michael's whole family was just broken. I mean, I get what you're saying. Hopefully, it's not too lovey-dovey, but end of the day, they've really tried to nail that Bonnie and Clyde sort of look. That's what I was feeling anyway throughout this whole extended look. I don't see anything wrong with it. I get people don't like it. Maybe they just don't like the concept of two lovebirds. Maybe they're just deeply wounded. Maybe their ex-girlfriend left them and that's it. They're out for revenge or something like that. But yeah, I don't really see how people can complain about it. I don't have a problem. All right, moving on. People wanted to see GTA Online 2. I don't know if we're going to call it that, but we'll just call it GTA Online. There was no showing or showcase of GTA Online. However, we can sort of expect sort of what it's going to be like. You know, that like just from the extended look alone, I mean, that there was a lot of chaos, a lot of carnage happening. And I personally think, look, some players primarily just care about online. So single player heavy showcase isn't necessarily what they wanted. So again, yes, there's going to be a little bit of complaints, but we can't please everyone. I mean, I'm happy they didn't show the online aspect of it. I truly am. I'm happy because me personally, I just wanted to see what the story was, even though they sort of broke the story in several parts, which is a good thing because obviously we don't want to see any missions being leaked any more than what we've seen leaked throughout like the last few weeks or the last few months. It depends on when you're going to obviously watch this video. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I didn't mind them sort of breaking up the story and showing bits and bobs of everything. Online can wait. I personally think we ain't going to get online for at least about a year, maybe even 2 years, because in 1 year's time, the PC release will come out. They might want to let people digest that as well. So yeah, I don't think that online is coming out anytime soon. But again, people that thought that online was coming out, yeah, they definitely not. 100%, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, moving on to my next point is too much realism. Yeah, you're probably thinking, wow, what's wrong with people? They say, A, it's not realistic enough because of the graphics. B, there's too much realism. I know. Crazy, crazy world we live in. So this is an interesting one. Animations, interactions, vehicles, slower movement, detailed interiors, etc. Could have people sort of worrying that Rockstar has moved too far forward towards sort of that Red Dead Redemption 2 style. And again, not a lot of people were a fan of that, even though it was a great game. And I sort of keep on going back to it because I think that was their benchmark. And, I get it. Too much realism can cause an issue. It can genuinely cause an issue. Could you imagine your car keeps on running out of petrol and you have to go to the petrol station to keep on filling it up? It can get annoying. It will be fun for the first few times, but then it will be annoying. We're just going to have to wait and see exactly how much realism there is in the game. Because from what we've seen from the leaks and the extended look, it is sort of crossing that boundary. Is it too much to annoy me personally? I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know. Some people may not like that. Some people might just want to jump in cars and just act like a lunatic without having to worry that their car's going to break down. Actually, one thing that was really funny that I saw in one of the leaks actually is that when CyberLeak was showing driving, he crashed he crashed somewhere, maybe not on a highway, but it looked like just like a busy sort of intersection area, and it made his character die. So like a wasted screen come up. So that, I had that in the back of my mind while watching the extended look. And when they were showing the driving mechanics, I was like, okay, so they're not driving super fast. They are undertaking. They are sort of getting a move on with the general driving. I'm not saying the police chases or anything like that. I'm just saying the general driving. And what was in the back of my mind is how fast do we need to go to kill off our character? That's another thing. Could that be super annoying? Because that could be. I mean, could that happen in GTA 5? Sure. You drive hitting someone really fast, you can sort of jump out the windscreen, the front screen, and depending on how far you're going to roll and what your health is like, of course you can die like that as well. So it's nothing sort of new, but yeah, to get straight away automatically wasted, is that too much realism? Will that pull the fun out of the game? We're going to have to just wait and see. So swiftly moving on to my next point, and that's people just deliberately are looking out for flaws. Look, GTA 6 is so enormous that negative GTA 6 posts generate engagement now. GTA 6 looks incredible, isn't nearly as provocative as GTA 6 looks terrible, right? We'll definitely click on the GTA 6 looks terrible because we want to know why. Why does it look terrible? It's that curiosity factor. Have they failed? Have they, is it going to be a failure of a game? Have I wasted my pre-order money, etc., etc.? So yes, people are deliberately looking for flaws as well. And you know what? Some criticism will actually be genuine as well. Of course, there's always negative where there are positives. There's always opposites to everything. But again, getting back to people just hating in general, oh man, they, spoiled, just overall spoiled. They've been spoiled with how many games are coming out. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it because it sort of drains my energy having to talk about people who base opinions on 26 minutes. It's pretty interesting. Right, so I've already spoken a little bit about the downgrade fear, so I'm not going to actually touch upon that in my notes. I've got my notes right in front of me, so I'm not really going to, talk about it too much. Again, it's just about them on release downgrading the graphics and stuff. There could be an issue there. Hopefully not. Otherwise, this extended look, yeah, that's when I'm going to get a little bit angry because that looked, again, amazing, and hopefully they don't, I really hope to God that they don't downgrade any of the graphics there. And my last point is pretty simple. Maybe people are hating because it just doesn't justify the hype. It just doesn't. This is probably like the central argument, if that makes sense. Like after years of waiting and unbelievable expectations, there was basically nothing for Rockstar to sort of showcase. Although I thought it was amazing, I'm just talking about other people. Maybe that's what they felt. I don't know what they wanted to see. I mean, it's got everything from, different parts of the city they showed. They showed a little bit of the Everglades. It looked hustling and bustling. It looked amazing. It's very hard to satisfy a lot of people. You know, again, the people that are hating on it, they're still going to play it. You watch, you mark my words, they're still going to play it. But look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I get it. But an opinion has to be formed over multiple hours of gameplay, not 26 minutes of extended look on Netflix, a subscription you probably are not even paying for, somebody else is paying for. So yeah, it's one of those things, right? It's one of those things, you know, when will us humans learn the hate? You know, people are going to jump on the hate train. They are, we're just going to have to wait and see how GTA sort of plays out. Overall, I thought, again, I sound like a broken record, but I thought it was amazing. I really can't wait to grip my hands on GTA on release. I will be streaming it. I will be talking and doing some walkthroughs and doing some Easter egg stuff. I will be doing all that. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and share this. If you got this far into the video, I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.